Hello everybody, welcome along to Sportsbet TV. This is Paul Alster here with you as we look ahead to Saturday the 12th of September. There really is some fabulous racing across Britain and Ireland, particularly at Doncaster, the St Leger fixture, and of course at Leopardstown in Ireland at the Irish Champion Stakes card. And today we have 4 selections for you with odds relevant at the time of recording as of Friday lunchtime. Well, let's start off with a big race really, which is at Doncaster, the St Leger, the oldest British classic, the final of the 5. The extended mile and 3/4, there are 11 runners. English King will not take his chance, and it looks a really good renewal. It really does. The Irish Derby winner and third, Santiago and Dawn Patrol, both represent Aidan O'Brien, and Santiago of course has gone on after winning the Irish Derby to run really well behind Stradivarius in the Group 1 Goodwood Cup. He is a thorough stayer. He is going to be very much on the premises, and he's a big danger, especially given connections. Owen Burrows, who's had his horses in great form this summer, has got Hookum, who was a Group 3 winner at Newbury. He seems to be very progressive. He's won his last 3. He should go well enough. I'll be surprised if he's good enough to win though. Galileo Chrome is the Irish runner I fear, trained by Joseph O'Brien. He's been very progressive, and he won his listed race over 1 mile and 5 at Navan recently in really good style. Mark Johnston also saddles Subjectivist, and this one won by 15 lengths in a Group 3 race at Goodwood, although it probably wasn't a very hot renewal, but he's certainly a horse who can gallop. He'll stay, and like all of Mark Johnston's runners, he's as honest as the day is long. But we think the one here to be on is PYLEDRIVER. He is the probable favourite. It's not certain he'll go off favourite. If he was trained by Aidan O'Brien or John Gosden or Sir Michael Stout, he'd be around 11 to 8, 5 to 4 in my book. As it is, he's available at 3 to 1. He's trained by William Muir and is the mount of Derby winning jockey Martin Dwyer. Now this is a horse who takes me back to 1993. Yes, I know I don't look old enough, but I was actually working at Doncaster back in 1993, and there was a horse I'd been backing all year, trained by Mark Tompkins. Like William Muir, not one of the most fashionable trainers. His name was Bob's Return. Now Bob's Return has an almost, well, not identical, but very, very similar profile to PYLEDRIVER. He was a listed winner at 2. He bombed out in the Derby. He then won the Grade 2 Great Voltigeur, just as PYLEDRIVER did, having disappointed in the Derby. And then he went on to win, and it's still there in my mind's eye, standing close to the winning line at Doncaster. Won in great style at Doncaster, and it was a famous success for a relatively small yard. And I think this is going to be the same story here with PYLEDRIVER, who's a lovely horse. He is very relaxed. He should stay, and I know that Martin Dwyer is very, very confident in him, and William Muir's an excellent trainer. So I think PYLEDRIVER is great value if you can get on at the 3 to 1 with William Hill. Now whether he drifts or not, I don't know, but I'm very happy, and I'll be honest, I've already backed him at 3 to 1. I think that he is a tremendous price, and he's clearly the pick on official figures as well. So PYLEDRIVER to win the last classic of the season, the St Leger at Doncaster at 3:35. Now we have 2 other selections at Doncaster. The first in the 1:15. It's a mile handicap. There are 12 runners. I'll go straight to it. The horse is called Misty Grey. He's trained by Mark Johnston and is the mount of Joe Fanning. A decent 2-year-old Misty Grey over 6 furlongs. He was rated 99, but then he missed 11 months and wasn't seen until recently, reappearing just last Saturday at Kempton Park. First time in a handicap, and he ran a much better race than his finishing position of 7th of 10 suggests. Now, if you glance at the race card and see he was 7th of 10, you think, well, that's not very good, he may not have trained on. But just go and watch the race. He was slowly away, and then he was denied a clear run 2 furlongs out. When he eventually did get out, he came home very, very strongly. Now remember, this is after 11 months off. That will have blown away the cobwebs. The bonus is that he's been dropped 3 pounds since then. So I think we know that he stays. He's sure to be absolutely spot on. The yard is a top yard, and at the time of this recording he is 12 to 1, and I think 12 to 1 is a very fair price each way in the 12-runner field. He may be a little bigger in places when more of the firms start pricing up, but I'm happy. 12 to 1 each way. Misty Grey looks overpriced in the 1:15 race at Doncaster. Now, just over half an hour later at Doncaster, the 150 is a really good 2-year-old race. The Group 2 Champagne Stakes, it's over 7 furlongs. In the days when there were plenty of press there and there wasn't coronavirus, and way back when the big champagne firms sponsored this race, they used to leave boxes of champagne in the press room for us to take home, and it kept me going for the year, really. A couple of bottles of champers, absolutely wonderful, but those days are gone. Now this year, as always, there are some very good contenders. And Owen Burrows, who's got a big runner in the St Leger later on, he trains Al-Bashir, who has won its only start over course and distance 7 weeks ago. He bolted up by 6.5 lengths and he looked a potential world beater. Truth is, I'm not so sure the form is quite as good as we thought at the time, but we can't take it away from Al-Bashir. He could easily be very, very good. There's also Richard Hannon's runner Chindit, who is 2 from 2, including an impressive win in listed company at Ascot last time. But like the winner, who is owned by Hamdan Al Maktoum, MUJBAR is owned by the same owner from Dubai. Now, he's trained by Charles Hills, and like his father, Barry Hills, Charles Hills targets this particular meeting, the 4 days at Doncaster, with his horses. He's got Dane O'Neill riding MUJBAR, and I think this horse could actually be the pick. He was too green to do himself justice on debut when made favourite at Newbury in July. He was 8th of 11, which was disappointing. But he obviously learnt a lot, because at Newmarket last time out, he bolted him by 7 lengths. That was just 2 weeks ago. He was really impressive, and the runner-up is a very decent horse, and on a line through the runner-up, in my view, MUJBAR is the best horse in the race. He may well carry the second colours of Hamdan, but I'll be backing him at 5 to 1 to beat Al-Bashir and Chindit, amongst others. He looks good value at around 5 to 1. MUJBAR for Charles Hills and Dane O'Neill in the 150 at Doncaster. And very quickly, our final selection on a great day at Leopardstown. The Champion Stake looks a cracker. I think Guy Arthur will probably win, but there are too many variables there with the Aidan O'Brien pair and others. I do like a horse though at Leopardstown in the 340. Another group race, the Group 2 Champion Juvenile Stakes, is over a mile. It's a horse we've spoken about before on this service. In the race, the O'Brien family come mob-handed, with Donica having Fernando Vici, the Leopardstown maiden winner. Joseph has Snapratria, who was 4th behind Max Swiney last time out. Van Gogh for Aidan O'Brien was 6th behind Max Swiney. Joseph also runs the exciting Liffey River, and Joe Lyons has the unbeaten 1 from 1 Ides of August. But if you follow this service regularly, you'll know that I'm very, very sweet on a horse trained by Jessica Harrington and ridden by Shane Foley. This is Cadillac, who absolutely murdered the opposition when looking a star, winning by 9 lengths on his debut at Leopardstown over 7 furlongs earlier in the season. And then I tipped him last time out in the Group 2 Futurity Stakes at the Curragh, where he found only Max Swiney too good for him. He was beaten half a length, and that was soft ground that day. And maybe the soft ground was just against him. It's drier ground for Saturday at Leopardstown. And I also think the step up to the mile is going to help him. I'm not going to desert Cadillac. I think he could be a Guineas horse for next season, and at the time of this recording he's generally available as favourite at 15 to 8, and I think he's the best bet on the card at Leopardstown on Saturday. So those are our 4. Let me just recap very, very quickly for you. 3 to 1 for PYLEDRIVER to win the St Leger at 3:35 at Doncaster. 12 to 1 each way for Misty Grey in the opener at Doncaster at 1:15. 5 to 1 MUJBAR for Charles Hills and Dane O'Neill in the 150, the Champagne Stakes at Doncaster, and in the Champion Juvenile at Leopardstown at 3:40 on Saturday, Cadillac at 15 to 8 to get back on the winning trail. So those are our 4. Maybe we'll do a Yankee. I wish you the best of luck. It's going to be a marvellous weekend sport. Enjoy it, and I look forward to speaking to you again same time next week. Bye bye for now.